Good morning class. Once again we are back with our geography chapter number 4, agriculture. In the previous classes we have already finished with subsistence farming, intensive farming, types of farming and what is agriculture. We have seen that there are different types of agriculture such as sericulture, horticulture. We have seen all these things. Okay. Now in this topic, today's topic, we will see the major crops. We finished with plantations, cultivations and everything. Now let's see in which crops, in which farm fields are this grown. Let's see in the major crops. That is, a large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirement of the growing population. Okay. So crops also supply raw materials for agro-based industries. Major food crops are wheat, rice, maize and millets. So what are the major crops we have is wheat, rice, maize and millets. These crops are grown according to the requirement of the growing population because these are eatable crops. That means we eat them for our daily supplements. So that is why if the population grows and increasing, then this crops production will also increase. Even jute and cotton are fiber crops. Important beverage crops are tea and coffee. So tea and coffee people drink all over the world, and jute and cotton are the fabrics that we use for our clothes. So all these things are the major crops are in the requirement according to the needs of the population. The next, now we'll see what is rice. Rice is a major food crop of the world. Entire world, maximum people eat rice. It is the staple diet of the tropical and subtropical regions. Rice needs very high temperature, high humidity and rainfall. So what rice needs is high temperature, high humidity and very rainfall. So rice requires a lot of water for its growth. Okay. So it grows best in alluvial clay soil. So the best soil that is used for rice cultivation is alluvial clay soil. Please underline this, which can retain water. Now the soil which can absorb a lot of water and retain it, that's where the rice requires. China leads in the production of rice, followed by India. So after India, China is at the first position of the growth of the rice. Even Japan, Sri Lanka and Egypt are also the same level. Even they are the main leading producers of the rice. In favorable climatic conditions, as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. So in Bangladesh, in West Bengal, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. In a year, in the same field, you can grow more than twice or thrice. Okay. The next we have is wheat. Wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall. During growing season and bright sunshine of the time of harvest, it thrives best in well-drained loamy soil. So wheat requires moderate temperature and rainfall during the growing season and a very bright shine at the harvest. So at different 3 stages it requires 3 types of temperature. So when it is growing it requires moderate temperature, and in a very middle stage of growth it requires high rainfall, and when at the time of cutting it requires a very bright sunshine. Okay, so it thrives well in the well-drained loamy soil. So which type of soil is required for wheat? It is loamy soil. Please underline it. Wheat is grown extensively in the US, Canada, Argentina, Russia, Ukraine, Australia and in India. So underline all of these names, and in India it is grown in winter. So India it grows in winter season. Wheat is growth in a good quality. The next we have is the millets. They are also known as coarse grains and can be grown on less fertile and sandy soil. So it does not have a very extreme type of soil. It can be grown in a less fertile soil also, or in a sandy soil also. They are the coarse grains. It is a hardy crop that needs low rainfall and high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. So this is the basic crop which it requires. Low rainfall is also fine for it, and also high to moderate temperature is good, and normal adequate water rainfall. Jawar, bajra and raki are grown in India. Other countries, Nigeria, China and Niger. These are the countries where this jawar, bajra and ragi are grown. Do you know? Let's see. Maize is also known as corn. Various colorful varieties of maize are found across the world. So the bhutta, what we ate, is maize. Okay. So now in this rainy season, we find a lot of bhuttas around us. That is a corn, that is a maize, and all over the world people eat it and people love it. I know. Maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall and lots of sunshine. It needs well-drained, fertile soil. Okay, maize requires a very moderate temperature, a lot of sunshine and rainfall, and a very fertile soil for its growth. Maize is grown in North America, Brazil, China, Russia, Canada, India, and Mexico. Please underline all of the names. You need to remember all of these names in the exam. It will come. Cotton. Cotton requires high temperature, light rainfall, 210 frost-free days, and bright sunshine for its growth. So cotton requires a very high temperature, very little water, that is why it is light rainfall, and 210. Please remember this number, underline it. How many days of frost-free? It is 210 days of frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. Frost is ice, water, something like that. So it grows best on black and alluvial soil. So in India, we have got black and alluvial soil, hence India also grows cotton, okay? And especially in Maharashtra, cotton is the most being growth in India, okay? So black and alluvial soil. China, USA, India, and Pakistan, Brazil, and Egypt are the leading producers of cotton. Please understand all of these names, underline them. It is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. So cotton textiles always require cotton for this textile industry. The next we have is jute. Jute was also known as the golden fiber. Please underline it. Which crop is known as golden fiber? That is jute. It grows well on alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall, and humid climate. Same as rice. Rice also requires alluvial soil, high temperature, heavy rainfall, and humid climate. So rice and wheat are same to be there. So that means wherever rice is also grown, jute will also be grown. Very easy to remember. Yes, this crops is grown in the tropical areas. India and Bangladesh are the leading producers of jute. Please underline the names. The next we have is coffee. Coffee requires warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. So, coffee requires wet climate but a well-drained loamy soil. Hill slopes are more suitable for growth of these crops. That's why hills are sloping. They require a lot of water but not to be sustained, restored in their roots. They want water flowing way. That is why in the hilly slopes they are being grown. So, hill slopes are more suitable for the growth of these crops. Brazil is the leading producer, followed by Colombia and China. Okay, so coffee is again grown. Tea is a beverage crop growth on plantations. Tea is a beverage. Tea and coffee is a beverage. It's a drink in our India. So this requires cool climate, well distributed high rainfall throughout the year for the growth of its tender leaves. So tea requires a very cool climate. Wherever it is very hard sunshine, it cannot grow. It requires cool climate but also a lot of water, same like coffee. That is why it is being grown in the hilly region for its tender leaves. Okay, before we move to the next page, let's see who discovered the coffee plant. It's an interesting fact. Let's see, there are about different versions of the discovery of coffee, but we follow is in about AD 1850, Khaldi, an Arab goat herder who was puzzled by the queer antics of this flock, tasted the berries of the green bush on which the goats were feeding. On experiencing a sense of exhilaration, he proclaimed his discovery to the world. So that means he is actually a cattle dweller. This coffee herbs were fed by the goats. The goats were eating it. He thought, what is this, the berry the goats are feeding on? Let's taste it. He tasted it and he saw that it's a very good in taste, and he discovered it to the world about his discovery. Okay, so that's how coffee has been discovered. Now let's see about a tea plantation. It requires well-drained loamy soils and gentle slopes. Labor in large number is required to pick up the leaves. Obviously, in coffee or tea plantation, it required large labors to just pick up the leaves from the plants. It requires a huge amount of labor. So labor is required. Countries like Kenya, China, India, Sri Lanka produce the best quality of tea in the world. Please underline them, that India is also part of it. Okay, so here we complete with the major crops. Let's move to the agricultural development. The agricultural development refers to the efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. This can be achieved in many ways, such as increasing the cropped areas, the number of crops grown, improving irrigation facilities, use of fertilizers, and high-yielding variety of seeds. Mechanization of agriculture is also another aspect of agricultural development. The ultimate aim of agricultural development is to increase the food security. So, That means agriculture. Why agriculture is developed? So much of machinery, so much of new types of technologies, fertilizers, seeds, irrigation facilities are being grown. Why these things are there? Why agriculture is supposed to be developed? Because of food security. Now, what do we mean by food security? That means India should be self-sufficient with food. There should not be any shortage of food in our country. That is why agriculture needs to be developed. Okay, so agriculture has developed in different parts, in different fields, parts of the world, different places. Developing countries with large population usually practice intensive agriculture where crops are grown on small holdings, mostly for subsistence. Larger holdings are more suitable for commercial agriculture, as in USA, Canada and Australia. With the help of these two case studies of farms, one from India and another from the USA, let us understand about agriculture in the developing and developed country. India actually followed primitive means, primitive techniques, old techniques. That is why we used to practice intensive agriculture. But in USA, they started using a lot of modern technologies to be in the farms. So that is why there is a case study about farms of USA and farms of India that we will understand. But first of that, do you know? Let's see. Food security exists when all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet the dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. Food security means where people are getting sufficient, nutritious food for their active and healthy life. Now let's see the farm in India. What do we have a farm in India? There's a small village in Alidabad in Ghazipur district of Uttar Pradesh. Munna Lal is a small farmer in his village who has a farmland about 1.5 hectares. This house is in his main village. He purchases high-yielding varieties of seeds from the market every alternate year. The land is fertile and he grows at least 2 crops in a year, where he normally wheat or rice and pulses. The farmer takes advice of his friends and elders as well as government agriculture officers regarding farming practices. He takes a tractor on rent for ploughing his field. To some of his friends still use traditional methods of using bullocks for ploughing. There is a tube well in the nearby field which he takes on rent to irrigate his fields. That means this fellow Munna Lal is using a lot of things. He has 1.5 hectares of land. His crop is very fertile. His land is very fertile. He can grow at least 2 crops in a year. He takes the help of the officers, agriculture officers. He rent the tractor on rent, ploughing his field using good quality of seeds, good quality of fertilizers. He also has a tubewell irrigation for everything. He uses all the techniques to be used for a farm. Munna Lal also has 2 buffaloes and a few hens. He sells milk in the cooperative store located in the nearby town. He is a member of the cooperative society which also advises him on the type of fodder for reasonable safety measures to protect the health of the livestock and artificial insemination. So all these casualties, all these possibilities Munna Lal takes. He is looking after, is very much concerned about this field. All the members of the family help him in various farm activities. Sometimes he takes the credit from a bank or the agriculture cooperative society to buy high yielding seeds. It is HYV is high yielding seeds and implements them. He sells his produce in the mandi located in the nearby town. Since majority of the farmers do not have lack storage facilities, they are forced to sell the produce even when the market is not favorable to them. In recent years, the government has taken some steps to develop storage facilities. So they don't have storage facilities. That's why whatever the market price is there, they have to get, but the government is actually helping them. So Munna Lal is using a lot of techniques and good materials for his farm. We've seen the farming in India. Now let's see the farm in the USA. The average size of a farm in the USA is much larger than that of an Indian farm. A typical farm size in the USA is about 250 hectares. The farmer generally resides in the farm itself. Some of the major crops grown are corn, soya bean, wheat, cotton and sugar beet. Now here the farmer is Joey Horan, a farmer in the Midwest USA. In Iowa state, owns about 300 hectares of land. He grows corn in his field after making sure that the soil and the water resources meet the needs of his crops. Adequate measures are taken to control pests that can damage the crops. So he is also taking measures so that his crops do not get damaged. From time to time, he sends the soil samples for a soil testing laboratory to check whether the nutrients are sufficient or not. This results help Joey Horan to plan a scientific fertilizer program. His computer is linked to the satellite which gives him a precise picture of his field. This helps him to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides wherever they are required. He uses tractors, seed drills, leveler, combined harvester, and thresher to perform various agricultural operations. A grain stored in the automated grain storage or dispatched to make market agencies. The farmer in the USA work like a businessman and not like a peasant farmer. So there's a basic difference. The Horon, the farmer Joey Horon, he uses a lot of modern technologies and techniques. He's in a very scientific approach towards the crops growth. So that is why the difference in USA farming and Indian farming is that USA farmers are like businessmen. They are not farmers exactly, they are businessmen. And here they are the poor farmers. Okay. So here it completes our chapter here. I believe you have understood this thing. If you have not understood, next Monday we will have a class and we'll discuss according to it. Now let's move to the question answer session. You will have is, what are the questions still remaining? The fifth question, the first one, name the fiber crops and the name of the climatic conditions required for their growth. So this answer you need to write. Golden fiber refers to jute. Take the correct answer, second one. Distinguish between both the answers I will give you. Till then, if you want, you can just solve these puzzles for your own benefit. It's entirely of your textbook questions. I want you to do this as an activity in your textbook itself. Fine. So homework has been given. I believe you are continuing to write this homeworks in your classwork notebook FNB, and I will be surely giving you the answers also. You can just wait for my answers and write. That is also fine. Till then, thank you class.